this, or did you mean that?
You see, what we really need is we just need a simple kind of like a instruction manual for the creation of this artifact.
All right.
The whole of the rest of the story doesn't need to happen. We just need to know what you want in this artifact.
Do you have a document that that someone else has provided for some other project that they gave you instructions that, and I'll try to do something similar?
No, typically I get left completely alone to figure it all out. When I do a project, no one's got a clue.
Okay.
They just say, we're going to put you in touch with our team.
And you go do it.
And you do it. And then they get stuck because they think that their job is to make sure that everything's on brand.
So,
branding. And then you tell them that you don't want to have branding. Because,
this has the challenge that we have to really collaborate.
Mm.
I need to tell you what I want, and then you have to tell me what I really need.
But what you want isn't open to interpretation. It's open to. It's very, very specific.
Very specific.
Yeah. So in this case, you actually have to like literally write it out. This is what I want. This is what it's got to look like. This is what each room's got to have in it, and you just do it with a pencil.
Well, I've been
say like this. You see like okay, I want like one cube. Imagine one cube. Now we have a cube that's like this, and then on the wall you've got you have the word passion. It's written like that. And you have creative up here, or do you? I don't know.
Well, or
where do you want those words? So, like
if I said, just build me the structure without any words.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'll tell you what words I want.
Okay. All right. So. Yeah. Okay. So you
build me
because they could float inside it, couldn't they?
Build me a mock-up without the words, without the numbers. I want to make sure the structure's right, and then I'll tell you what I want next.
Yeah, because if you're dealing with anything that's a Y characteristic could have that color, and everything that's a Z could have that color.
All those things. Those are to be determined.
Okay. So you just want like 125 cubes stacked on each other to form a cube. You want 8 of them, and you want the floors between them.
5x5 Rubik's, structured like this little city.
Yeah.
With a basement and a building. And roads going either way that are capable of being a palette.
Why do you have the dome? What's that for?
Not necessary.
No, is it?
I had the domes and I put it down there.
Yeah. Well, that's just like that's to give it.
That was ornamental.
Yeah. Well, what it's doing is
it was to cue people that it's supposed to be inside a head.
Which is totally fair, and it's an architectural idea. Yeah, that's what you would want to do in a good architecture. You want to make it kind of like.
You want it to be like someone's head.
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
And here's another idea. They took DNA. James Watson created the architecture, a double helix. The research project is called the Genome Project.
Mm-hmm.
They took the brain and they've tried to figure out all the connections. They call it the Connectome Project. This project of the 3DMind, I'm calling the Mindome Project.
Mindome, okay.
You like that?
Yeah.
And the dome helps people remember it's the Mindome Project.
I like the dome because you can always pull out that
Brunelleschi.
Yeah, the Brunelleschi story. Because it made Florence the sort of like the. And he was a banker. He was the money.
I was there in 2003.
I mean, he did it because he realised the potential, the capital, investment that would come to Florence. Because if you could prove that you could do this.
My idea is that, like all the great naturalists, even the Confucius, the Chinese characters are characters built by a naturalist. They're phonetic.
Yeah.
They're not hieroglyphic.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you saying that, and you were saying that. I wasn't quite sure what that meant actually, because I'll give you an example. The first character that you learn in Chinese is, I learned it in Japanese because I was there for 2 years. Is mon, which means to ask. And it's based on a gate. It's a structure that goes up across like that, and then another one comes up here like that, and that's a gate. It means mon, and then You know, you have another character goes in here, and it's the sun coming up in the gate, and so and you have a character. You can have another one with a character standing in where you to have a relationship with. You meet someone at the gate. Now this is pictographic. It's not phonetic.
Well, I just read this in something I was looking up that the Egyptian hieroglyphics
Definitely pictographic.
are pictorial.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And Chinese characters are a combo platter. Some are phonetic, some are pictorial, some are symbolic.
It's a mix, yeah, because like a river, I know it definitely comes from that kind of two squiggles next to each other.
So, but these are...
And Yama is a mountain, you know, so up like that.
And so they are symbolic alphanumeric. The world of computers and technology assumed that humankind can only think, up till recently, in symbolic alphanumeric ways. It is now clear, as you'll that pattern recognition, that is sounds, pictures, and objects, not just symbols, but objects, real objects, real pictures, and real sounds, that the pattern recognition of that, in combination with the alphanumeric symbolic, is going to give you a more powerful paradigm. And if you Google, you're going to have to change your name from just alphabet.
I see, yeah, alphanumeric. Yeah. So I don't think in terms of letters and numbers.
Clearly, because you were walking out the door when I came in to go pick up your Apple computer.
Yeah.
And
in terms of the complexity of things, I did a painting once, which I wanted to do a tree, but I didn't want to do a tree. And I just done a project for NYU's hospital to do with the cardiovascular system and the vascular tree, which is like a network of branching structure, right? So it's analogous to a tree. So I was thinking, like, if one thing is analogous to a tree, maybe it's a condition that's ubiquitous, is everywhere. And I was living in the country, and I was thinking there are too many trees. It's too complex. It's a mess. I've just been from New York City, and lived there, and it was all regular and synthetic, and a little dull actually for me because it was too simplistic. And I was in the country, but I wasn't able to cope with the complexity of everything I saw around me. And then I started to swim, and I started making like rhythmical motions with my body where I moved through the space by creating this left right, you know, coordinated system. And it was a pleasure because I was moving through space, and I just had to maintain this flow, this kinetic flow. And after doing that for a while, I started to actually my mind reconditioned, and I was starting to look at the trees, and I started to realize how beautiful they were. They didn't look like a mess anymore. I could see the pattern.
Yeah.
Because I was becoming
chaos theory.
Well, I'd become accustomed to the periodic branching of what was going on, and I started to see it.
The periodic table.
And
all these are two-dimensional tables.
And I made this painting based on a bush, but it wasn't a bush. I wanted to create a branching structure. I wanted to do it in red because I thought maybe I could get a sense of a kind of vascular form. And I did this thing. It felt more and more like a red bush. And then I met this Rabbi Kushner from Boston, who was talking about...
Kushner?
Yeah. He was talking about a test of sentience that God had for Moses. And he said it takes 7 minutes to figure out whether something is burning up or burning on, not being consumed. So I said to myself, you know, like, so Moses was looking at the tree, but he wasn't seeing fire. He was seeing the thing that makes the tree go. He was seeing
energy.
Yeah, he was seeing the organizing principle that made it go. He was thinking, oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at the way it's branching, but it's doing it at a periodic rate. It has there's a system. There's an open system to this. The non-linear system that's making it go. That's really cool. So God says, you like that? Oh, okay, I can talk to you. You know, now here's the Torah.
Well, I think the organizing principle, for me, is the brain, mind, and body.
Yeah, yeah.
The organizing principle, as we come to the intersection and the border of the interconnectable framework with the whole framework in a digital framework, that we have the abstraction of complexity, which you were doing with the brain and with the nervous system and the cardiovascular system, and the abstraction of simplicity, which we've got with these cubes.
Right.
we've got both the abstraction of the complexity of Manhattan using Google SketchUp with the buildings as they really are, and the abstraction of simplicity in the aesthetically.
I can sort of see that one standing at the gates of something really interesting here. And the first order of business is to try and figure out how you can get one of these things built. I mean, it's very straightforward what you want. Very simple, very easy to do, but it still takes time.
It still takes time.
And I would have to, you see. You've inspired me into thinking this is a good idea, but I would have to inspire a student into doing this. There isn't anybody sitting waiting for a job. You know what I'm saying? I'd have to find someone who can see why they should do this for me.
Well,
I'm not paying them, so I've got to make them feel like this.
I have been working on a fundraising letter. Okay? This was last week's draft. Look.
It'd be great if you could get some seed money to get something into shape, to make a preliminary proposal.
Well,
you see, in the site-specific built world, what they do is they issue a request for qualification. What that does, an RFQ identifies the kind of artists that they're looking for, and then they make a short list, and then they provide an RFP, which is a request for proposal, which you get paid for. Just to make a proposal to do a project, and if you win it, then you get the whole project. But because everybody knows that just like working out the project is where the real work is.
Yeah, I want to follow your methodology. I want to issue an RFQ.
Yeah.
To get people who might be interested in doing this.
Right.
The proposal is to do a project that can be done within 10 hours.
Yeah.
That can be done within.
Yeah, that's right. It wouldn't take long to do that.
How much should I pay per hour for a student? For a student.
$15 an hour.
I'll pay $15 an hour for 10 hours work.
Yeah.
And I want an RFQ. And then
it's like $150. I mean, but maybe.
But for the $150, if they get selected,
yeah,
the RFP will be anybody who gets selected would get $150 if they build it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I've got the money.
Okay. All right.
I'll pay $150 for 10 hours work. All you got to do is submit it to SketchUp Pro, and you get the $150, and you get the credit.
Okay. Yeah.
And you get first dibs.
Of being on the team.
On being on the team and building the mind for the whole world.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
any coaching on how to write an RFQ, or you know how to do that. You do it all the time.
Yeah. I could.
Could you do that?
Well, I've got to take a look at the people that I'm working with this year. It's my immediate constituency of the people that are in my class.
But
that's my
really,
if I had to go outside of that,
you can go anywhere.
I could go outside of that, but I'd have to make an announcement. That's right.
Let's do it on the Let's do it like Bertolucci. No, he's the bad guy.
The Italian guy.
Bertolucci.
Oh, Brunelleschi.
Brunelleschi, not Berlusconi.
No.
Brunelleschi. Do it very quietly with 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I've just got to find someone who's. I've got a student last night, funnily enough, who was showing me, how excited he is about SketchUp Pro.
Joe, I've got an opportunity here for.
I know what to say. It's just I'm just telling you where what's accessible to me right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a couple of students who could probably do this. It all depends on what else they're doing, whether they're up to their eyeballs, because we're at the final month before exams.
No.
So this is like one of the worst times.
What they could do in 10 hours or less.
I know. That's right. Yeah.
10 hours or less.
That's right. Yeah.
And anything they submit gets 150 bucks.
So basically, the qualification is like, can you make a Rubik's cube?
It's